Welcome back, everybody. I've been wanting to do this video for a really long time. I always end up getting hung up on bigger pieces of property, 1,000+ acres, and the footage wouldn't actually be true to the title of the video. But in this particular case, getting started on this one place that I'll be on for a couple of weeks, and it's only a couple of hundred acres. That's probably about the average amount of acreage that most trappers get access to. I'm very fortunate, very blessed to be able to trap the larger pieces of property like I do. I got several places I trap that are 5,000+ acres, and it's kind of just a numbers game at that point. It's all about, obviously, yes, setting good locations and making good sets, but I have so much opportunity to catch on those larger pieces of property than I do on a place that's, say, only 100 or 200 acres. And that's exactly what we're on right now. We got about 150 or 200 acres that we're going to be trapping the next couple of weeks. So you guys are going to follow me along on this video for the next week or two. This video is going to be specifically on this property, on this small piece of property, and I'm going to show you guys how to maximize your potential for big predators like coyotes, bobcats, and fox on smaller pieces of property. So stick around, it's going to be a good one. This is going to be our first setup here in this field. The reason I picked this location, we got like a little triangle of trees that kind of stick out in the field a little bit. We're going to pop a dirt hole set in right here on this point somewhere, facing out into this field. And then we're probably going to go right over here to this corner of trees and pop a trap in as well. These are the type of areas that when predators are cruising these fields, these are going to be the areas that they're keying on specifically. They're going to come to these little points where they can kind of get out in the field a little bit further and not be out in the wide open. So this little island of trees right here that jots out in the field 50 yards or so off of the main road is going to maximize their potential to catch a deer or rabbit or something like that out here in this field without them being seen. Those locations are going to be huge on your smaller pieces of property. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pop in this dirt hole set right here. There's a little bit of a hill right here that'll allow that dirt hole to be seen from probably all the way across this field. So we're gonna go ahead and knock that out real quick. All right, so here we go. We got our MB450 driven into the ground. We got our hole drilled. We're gonna go ahead and just put a regular old dirt hole set in here. It's getting around our breeding season, so we're gonna have a good blend of sets. We're gonna have some flat sets, some dirt hole sets, probably a couple of scent post sets in here too, just to try to, once again, maximize the potential. You don't want to just get stuck on one particular set. You don't want to just set dirt holes or just set flat sets or just set scent posts, especially on these smaller places like this. You got to find out what your target is liking at this particular point in time, whether it be springtime, summertime, fall, or winter. You got to maximize your potential with a variety of sets. Got our trap bedded in nice and good. So before we finish it up, I'm gonna give you guys a look at what we got going on here before I completely cover it in. So here we go, here's our setup. You can see our pan here, 8 to 9 inches back from the center of the hole, slightly offset to the right just a little bit. Let's back up and take a look at this thing from, say, 40 or 50 yards out in the field. So that hole sticks out. And I'm probably a good 30 to 40 feet away from it. So anything even cruising through the middle of the field, that's gonna have some curb appeal. It's gonna have some eye pop to it. So not even just necessarily targeting that particular point of trees like we talked about earlier, but the fact that it can be seen from a long ways off out in this field makes it a great set. We just got the second trap popped in here. You can see I made a scent post set. Had this stick with kind of a big knot on the end, and then I used this little berm of dirt on the back as a backing to keep anything from trying to work it from the backside. Got a little bit of gland lure smeared right down there on the bottom. Big wad of coyote urine on the top. Traps out here about 8 or 10 inches this way. But again, on this little point of trees right here, these predators are going to travel these edges. So anyway, we got this field doubled up. Our dirt hole set is right over there, and you can actually see that. You can actually see the dirt hole from right there all the way across the field. It's still got that visual feel to it. So we got two different sets here. We've got a food driven set as far as our dirt hole goes. And then we have something keyed a little bit more towards the breeding side of things. We got this scent post set. We're trying to kind of feel out what they're going for, what they're after right now, and we're gonna keep it up. All right, so here we are at our next location. We've got a little trail coming out here. We've got a field edge here and here where these impoundments come to an end. We got this long road that comes this way, and we also have a trail this way. So we're gonna put a trap in right here where all these converge together. Check this out. Coyote scat right there. My spider senses were correct. There are predators traveling this route right here. Let's get a trap in. I just pulled up in this second field. This one's been recently cleared, plowed, and everything like that, so there's still a bunch of trash in it, roots and whatnot. And I actually started to go right over here. If you look, you can see kind of a little push, and there's a bit of a trash pile in there. It probably goes maybe 20 yards up in the woods off the field, and I was like, that'd be a good spot for something to travel in and out of. And then I looked across the field and I saw this nice little push up in here and a little point of trees coming out. Walked over here to check it out. Boom, coyote tracks right there. Not saying they wouldn't travel to the other side of the field, but they are definitely already walking over here. And upon further inspection, it's actually a good little trail that goes off in here. It's been bush hogged several feet up in there. So we're gonna punch a trap right here somewhere where this trail opens up into this field. Probably right here around this little corner of trees. Right there. See what we can make happen. All right, quick look. Found a little stump pushed up right here by the tractor. Popped a dirt hole in under it. Got kind of a furrow here. So I made like a trench dirt hole with that little stump as a backing. We stuck our lure in the stump, a little hole in the stump, squirted some bobcat urine on top of it, bait in the hole, punched an MB 550 in there. I got a ton of 450s, but I got like 3 550s in the box. So I figured I'd go ahead and utilize those since I got them. So trying not to bore you guys too much with a lot of set making videos and location choices. I didn't video every trap that I set that afternoon. I did manage to get in about 15 to 16 sets on this property, which is more than I would normally put in on 150 acres. However, the road systems and fields allowed for that many traps without overcrowding. I got in a good mixture of dirt holes, flat sets, and a scent post or two. And here comes our first morning check. Got us a nice big red fox here. We sat right on the corner of this field. You can see behind us we got a little bit of a tree line with another clearing and a road that comes out in the corner of this field here that just opens up. Had a flat set in here with a Bridger 175. Anyway, we're gonna grab up some pictures and get this set remade and keep rolling. All right, good cold morning here in South Carolina. Just picked up our first coyote off this property. We actually caught that red fox yesterday right here at the other end of this field on a flat set. We had a big double dirt hole in right here. We got a fence row comes in right here with a road leading down parallel in it, and it just follows the edge of this field right on down. So we set this trap right on the corner of this little wood line where the fence row and the road comes out. Nailed us a really big coyote. Super pumped up to get this one. I know the landowner is going to be excited about this one. He's been having coyotes all over his trail cameras for several weeks now, months even, and we finally got one. So the next morning I got invited on a duck hunt that I really didn't want to turn down the opportunity at. The landowner was nice enough to run the traps for us that day, even do a little bit of videoing for us. If you remember this set, this was the dirt hole set we made where we used that stump as our backing, and we picked up a nice big male coyote here in this MB 550. This was right where that bush hog trail came out on the edge of that field and left that little point of pine sticking out. Came back that afternoon when I got done hunting and remade the set. Whew. So I may have been a little premature on filming my outro. I told you guys that we'd caught 3 coyotes and 1 red fox off this property in, 5-6 days a week, somewhere in there. And 2 traps later, just got number 4. You're gonna see here in a minute on the outro, I tell you we only caught 3 coyotes out here, but this is number 4. We still got a few traps to run, so I may cut into the outro again. Anyway, we've already caught 1 coyote in this set. This little bush hog trail kind of came out the back corner of this field to this point of pine trees. Just a new field that they pushed in. I actually had this stump right here using as my backing. You can see it's got a little hole in it, and I was putting my lure down in that hole and then drilling my dirt hole under the stump. It was perfect setup. So anyway, got 2 coyotes off this set. Old mangy dog there, but he won't be bothering any more deer and turkeys out here. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap the video up with this coyote here. This makes our 3rd coyote and 1 red fox off of here in about a week or so. Like I say, we're trapping about 150 acres. You gotta hit your hot spots. You gotta set your hot spots, your fields, roads, road intersections, things like that. And the biggest factor that I believe trapping anywhere, but especially smaller pieces of land, is the variety of sets. You got to have dirt holes. You got to have flat sets. You got to have scent post sets, depending on the season. But you got to mix it up. You can't just let them see the same thing over and over, especially when it's probably the same 4 or 5 coyotes running the same 150 acres every night. You got to give them a variety of sets to look at. You got to give them a good blend of lures and baits and smells and stuff like that. They just can't be looking and smelling and seeing the same thing every single night. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it really helps y'all, you guys that trap smaller pieces of land. I hope it really helps you pick up your catch rates. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Love you guys. Thanks for all the support. Catch y'all on the next one.